KBLA Talk 1580 stands with you, neighbor to neighbor, bringing you resources and what you need to know. For information on fire recovery resources, recovery hubs, and available services, call 211 for the City of Los Angeles and 311 county-wide. Aid distribution locations, repopulation updates, and safety rules are constantly changing. Visit the LA City and LA County websites for the latest. If you'd like to sign up for the county's free debris removal, fill out a right of entry form, or get a list of disaster recovery centers that are still active, please visit recovery.lacounty.gov or call the debris hotline at 844-347-3332. If you're vulnerable to mudslides with rain in the forecast, free sandbags are being offered. Go to lacounty.pw/sandbags to find out where to get them. Businesses who have lost their facilities due to the fires can use a regional online source to get free or discounted locations. Whether you're interested in donating or finding space, you can visit the business-to-business Space Share portal at spaceshare.lacounty.gov. Additional LA County small business support and programs can be found at opportunity.lacounty.gov. Praying, advocating, and standing with you. KBLA Talk 1580.
We going. My pants poster said, we going ultra. Yeah. We going ultra black, I got a toast to that. We don't fold the crack. We going, occasion we rose to that. Going postal, we going ultra black. Watching the global change, hopping the coldest range. Hit boy on the beat, this poster slap. We going ultra black. We going. Rhythm and blues, pop, rock, soul to jazz, to my toes attack. How I look being told, I'm not supposed to brag. Nobody fault, I tell the truth, I know it's facts. We ultra black, gray stone, skin tone, but multi that. Multiple colors, we come in all shades, mocha black. Except where I'm at and not fight me on it. Emotional stares like I might be wanted. Pitch black like the night, I'm ultra black. Set for the sun, reruns, jokes are black. Oh yes, God bless success. We going ultra black, like the S is fast. Talk with a mask on, the freshest breath. African black soap, caress the flesh. Super fly the Mac, sitting fly in the lack. Take the boat on the water, history talks with my daughter. My son will be my resurrection. Constantly learning lessons. I never die, you get the message. I hope you be better than I. Life's precious. Two-stepping. Sometimes I'm over black, even my clothes are black. Cash money with the white tee and the soldier rag. We going ultra black, unapologetically black.
KBLA Talk 1580, unapologetically all the things. Let's get it together. Let's get ourselves together, mind, body, and spirit. How to be brave, how to find courage in troubled times, how to keep rising when folks are trying to stomp you down. Our ancestors, of course, are specialists in just that, and we will tap into our DNA, the positive side of the epigenetics, to keep us marching, moving, and rising, regardless of who's in what house they might happen to be or what initials they weaponize against us. And we will continue to do so. At least I'm committed to do so. And I know my next guest is as well. Actually, today we're celebrating somebody's birthday. It's a piece of Black history that's not talked about enough. My next guest is a naturopath, a holistic lifestyle consultant. She specializes in iridology, Reiki, detoxification, nutritional programs, weight loss, herbal solutions, holistic wellness consultations, and she's the founder of the African Culture and Wellness Festival, which is a vegan all-star chefs and African dance instructor as well. Dr. Sharita Yazid, welcome.
Greetings. Happy New Day, my sister.
Happy New Day. We are celebrating the birthday of the amazing, I will call him a pioneering foundational herbalist, Dr. Pau Goss, who also happens to be your dad.
Yes, first giving praise and thanks to the ancestors who showed us that stand upon whom backs I lean upon. And I give thanks to the Most High for this moment in time, for us to be able to celebrate us and celebrate my father, celebrate a legacy, celebrated community activist, husband, father, just one that everybody just loved to be in his space, and had a lot of influences on a lot of people's lives and helped to save a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, I met Dr. Goss when I first came to Los Angeles. One of the early individuals, some of the first people I met when I came to LA, Eazy-E, Ice Cube, and Dr. Pau Goss. I knew Paul Mooney already from the Bay, so he was also one of the first folks I interviewed on the air. But somehow Dr. Pau Goss was one of the first individuals that I met, and someone who I kept in touch with until shortly before he made his transition. I will say this, and just so you know, we're opening up the phone lines too. If you have a question or you need a little consultation as far as your own well-being, we're here for you. That's part of the legacy of Dr. Pau Goss. But I will say this, that I personally think that Pau Goss, the herbalist straight out of Compton, is one of the most underrated persons in the holistic health and wellness space. I feel like people don't realize that he trained many of our Black wholeness practitioners, holistic practitioners, the herbalists, and vegan consultants, etc., etc. He grew the herbs. He built the business. So we've been trying to get it together, Dr. Sharita, to sort of spend the February day celebrating your dad for all these years. But do you think that people understand his impact? I'm not hating on Dr. Sebi. I'm glad that people are celebrating Dr. Sebi, but I think Dr. Pau Goss may have been Dr. Sebi before Dr. Sebi was Dr. Sebi. I mean, obviously he has his own way. He's not exactly the same, but as far as being a pioneer for Black folks in well-being and health.
I think
Oh, there you are. Okay.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, I hear you now. Delay.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you can say that. With social media today, you're able to kind of really push an agenda a little bit faster. And I look at Dr. Sebi as the one whose spirit used to bring attention to our African holistic wellness movement that really started, as far as for me, with Dr. Albinia Fulton out of Chicago. And if we go with her, we're talking about 100 years of African holistic wellness. And she was one of the teachers for Dr. Pau Goss, my father. And she was also known as a teacher for Dr. Dick Gregory, which you'll see more about her on his story on Netflix. So I look at it as he's bringing so much attention, to so many, to our Queen Afua, to Dr. Africa, to our current Dr. Aris Latham, to Dr. Pau Goss, and some of our local people like Dr. Rab and Dr. Tabidi, and some of the ones that we know locally. But there's so many if we talk about 100 years of this, so I give thanks that we even have the attention and that our African people globally are now paying attention to their wellness just because of this seed that's been planted in their ears.
Yeah, it's a great way of looking at it. It's like he became the messenger, partly through Nipsey Hussle, right? To kind of bring light to this really long tradition of Black healers in this country. And to be honest with you, I feel like we go probably way back, in holding on to some of these ways. And one of the things that surprised me the most when I moved to Los Angeles and met your dad is that our vision of Los Angeles, or sort of the image or stereotype, is that it's really shallow. It's all about Hollywood and beaches and gangs and drug dealers and images and cars. And I didn't realize what a strong health and wellness tradition there was here when I got here, and I was going to the Good Life and Mr. Wisdom and Simply Wholesome, and, and meeting your dad and Dr. Reb. I was blown away because it was something that I did not expect because the world doesn't know about it. So perhaps you're right. Dr. Sebi, even though he hails from Honduras, was the one who shed the light on that tradition here.
Yes, and we give thanks. So now it's time to be able to celebrate, all of them, because they all brought that wellness to our community in particular. They understand who we are, who we were, and how our bodies worked, how we were different, and they had the solutions to our problems.
Yeah. So, okay, when we come forward, we'll talk about how you, Dr. Yazid, how you're carrying forward this tradition. This is Black History Month, and we're looking at one of the most neglected and yet one of the most rich and resource-laden aspects of our history, which is the history of Black healers as embodied by the late and amazing Dr. Pau Goss and currently carried on by Dr. Sharita Yazid. That's next. KBLA Talk 1580.
A safe place to go loud. A great place for progressive politics. KBLA Talk 1580.
I have a dream today.
They said it couldn't be done. They said we wouldn't make it. But history had other plans. This February, KBLA Talk 1580 celebrates the dreamers, the doers, and the breakthrough makers of Black History Month. Your station, your stories. We're KBLA Talk 1580.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
When it comes to sending last-minute Valentine's Day gifts, nobody delivers like Target Circle 360. Get the perfect surprise delivered right to their door with Target Circle 360's unlimited same-day delivery on orders over $35. Start with a dozen red roses, then choose from our delicious assortment of favorite day candy and more. Crush your Valentine's Day celebration by sending something to everyone on your list. Only at Target. Restrictions apply.
KBLA Talk 1580 stands with you neighbor to neighbor, bringing you resources and what you need to know. For information on fire recovery resources, recovery hubs, and available services, call 211 for the City of Los Angeles and 311 county-wide. Aid distribution locations, repopulation updates, and safety rules are constantly changing. Visit the LA City and LA County websites for the latest. If you'd like to sign up for the county's free debris removal, fill out a right of entry form, or get a list of disaster recovery centers that are still active, please visit recovery.lacounty.gov or call the debris hotline at 844-347-3332. If you're vulnerable to mudslides with rain in the forecast, free sandbags are being offered. Go to lacounty.pw/sandbags to find out where to get them. Businesses who have lost their facilities due to the fires can use a regional online source to get free or discounted locations. Whether you're interested in donating or finding space, you can visit the Business to Business Space Share portal at spaceshare.lacounty.gov. Additional LA County small business support and programs can be found at opportunity.lacounty.gov. Praying, advocating, and standing with you. KBLA Talk 1580.
What you want to do, huh?
KBLA Talk 1580 is thrilled to share that we have been named as a semi-finalist for the coveted American Climate Leadership Awards, honoring our climate work last year. We're also delighted to announce year 2 of our Climate Justice Crusade. This year's $2 million 12-month campaign will link and combat the relationship between climate change and poor health outcomes for African Americans and the poor. Climate inequities have taken a toll with multiple health triggers in the Black community, such as extreme heat and poor air quality, made worse by the recent wildfires. Our work to ensure climate justice and climate equity continues. In the coming weeks and months, you'll be hearing a lot more about our 2025 climate campaign. To learn more about our plans for this year and the companies and organizations supporting us, log on to our website at kbla1580.com. Caring about the climate, caring about the community, changing the conversation. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black. Thanks for waking up with Dominique DiPrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
Thank you indeed. We're talking with Dr. Sharita Yazid. She is a world-renowned herbalist and vegan practitioner, consultant, and we're paying tribute to Dr. Pau Goss. Let's tell the story of Dr. Goss, So once upon a time, there was a child named Dr. Pau Goss, born in the month of February. Let's talk a little bit about your dad's story.
Yes, born February 11th, 1937, eighth child of 10 children, born to Sam and Annie Goss. We give thanks and praises to those ancestors. Yeah, and, he grew up in Alcoa, Tennessee. Alcoa, Tennessee was an aluminum town, and his father worked in the aluminum mills. And he grew up in, a poorly segregated school area. He had elders, Mitchell Brown, who was known as the root doctor, and then Miss Bellamy, who was known as the herb lady. So he would, just as a child, 7, 8, 9, 10, he would go to them and they would send him out, to go pick different herbs. So, this is catnip, go pick this. This is wormwood, go pick this. And bring this back to me. So he was just one that just would go and gather the herbs. And then, it was a way for him to make a little money. They might give him a coat, for schools or some shoes for school, and things like that. But he didn't know at that time they were setting him up for the person he came to be, which was this master herbalist and master healer. But that's where he got his start. And then he did go on to finish high school and finish the university, Stillman College in Alabama, and master's in biochemistry. And then he was married, had 3 boys to his first wife, and moved to California, Compton, be exact, with a few other siblings. And then he got with my mom in 1967, and had me and my sister, Pauletta Goss, counsel, and myself, Dr. Sharita Yazid, Goss Yazid, in 1970, 1972, and 1976, he started the Goss Corporation, which entails the new body products known for CKLS, with over 130
Right. But just slow down 1 second before we get to new body, because somewhere in between being a biochemist, right, with a master's degree, who worked in corporate America, he
yes,
there was some kind of shift, right? I mean, I had talked to him about it a couple of times. I've interviewed him many times over the years, but at some point, but he could be quite poetic in his expression. Sometimes.
Yeah. Well, I can go into more of that. We only have an hour to talk about Dr. Goss.
Yeah, I mean,
we need a series. Really,
well, just follow my lead, because I know what I'm doing. Okay.
Yes. So we he did go to work for a biochemist company, and he was also at that time putting together herbal formulas, but it was more for the well-to-do, for the rich. And so once he got to, and then he was also doing things that they were used for biological warfare and things like that. You know, that's what these biochemical companies do. And so, like Ancient Orange is one of those ones that we know, not that he was part of that, but that's something that's more familiar because of Vietnam. And then during the Watts riots, they did have them put together, you know, some kind of solution to help calm down people during the Watts riots, and they were passing around marijuana cigarettes, you know, with some kind of substance on there to kind of calm down. And then I think that was his turning point. That was where it's like, no,
yeah, that's the question. What was the moment, the aha moment or wherever, when he said, I'm getting out of corporate America and I'm going to embark on this journey, which you're describing?
I would say, just from what I know, I would say that was the spark when he decided, you know, looking at his community, realizing that his skills can be used for them as opposed to against them. You know, once he realized, no, I'm using this against my people, and I'm taking care of the oppressor, pretty much.
Yeah.
And so he decided, okay, now I'm going to go ahead and come up with different formulas to help people with these different things because he had the knowledge, you know. So he started off with I would say people think it's CKL as a colon cleanser, but he started off with one called FDY, which means Forever Young. And that was used for a stroke patient that he had that came to him in a wheelchair. And he had a series of strokes, and he came to him and told him what his problem was, and he went ahead and gave him a program to go on as far as diet.
Wow, that's
vegan,
amazing.
Vegetarian diet, juicing, and then he came up with a formula, and he was able to walk again. So that was the start.
So that was his first formula. But the company, which you started to describe, when he started it, you said 1976?
Yes.
It was New Body from day one.
Yeah, well, the Goss Corporation. It was a Goss Corporation, and then New Body Products is and New Earth are under that umbrella.
And I mean, this started. Was it a struggle in the beginning? Did it take off right away? I mean, I don't know that at that point in time, Compton is known as a hotbed of herbal healing.
Just dealing in the Black community, no, it wasn't popular at all. You know, we're dealing with people with eating all kind of different things that are processed, all kind of meats, you know, greasy, high cholesterol, things that build up diabetes and heart disease.
Greasy.
And so, cheesy, greasy. That's the hood.
Yeah.
No, it was a struggle. You know, of course, trying to start your own business, coming out of corporate where you're making $70,000. You know what I'm saying, back in the 70s.
Right.
And now you're walking away from that, you know, with a tag on your head saying that, you know, we're going to make life hard for you, you know, because you're leaving away with certain knowledge. And now you're going to the people that we're trying to keep under, and you're trying to raise them up. So now he's here in Compton, you know, family responsibilities, and with his knowledge, and decided, okay, let's go for it. So then, of course, the banks, of course, wouldn't give him loans and things like that, and he did go after that. And then he just decided, okay, let me just talk to my friends and relatives and just sell stock, and $25, you know, per stock. And then people bought one. Some people bought 100. Some people bought 1,000. And we give thanks to our brother Joe Tilk, who was like his right hand man. In the beginning, you know, there were certain people that stood up and believed in the vision, and that's how he got started with the community.
So it was always community investing in itself in a way.
Always.
And so, 1976. And what's the next step? How does this become not just a center for products, but a center for teaching? Because I know that Dr. Goss, one of the things he's famous for is training other healers.
Yeah, he's is a master iridologist, which is a consultant that looks in the iris of the eye, the brown or the color part of the eye, and they determine different things that happens in the different systems. Look for imbalances or deterioration, and then find ways to regenerate through herbal medicine and diet, meditation, just a holistic lifestyle.
Yeah, it's amazing. I didn't, 1976 to now, the corporation, the family business, as it were, has become a community institution and still standing, even in Dr. Goss's passing.
Yes, thousands and thousands of students, throughout the United States. He was in Ghana, Nigeria, the Caribbean, and different places. So he has many, many students and who are actually practicing, and many, many distributors of the New Body products throughout 17 different countries. I remember when one of the things when we first started, I was only 6 years old, and my sister was 4, and and early on, even before he really incorporated and started the business legally, we remember, just putting together capsules, by hand. So he would take his powders and mix his little formulas, put the bowl in front of us, and then we had our capsules on the side, and then we would, fill the capsules, and we were doing all of this by hand.
Wow.
And I just remember thinking like, oh, this is not right. I wish I had known about childhood labor during that time. I would have reported him. I was like, we're supposed to be outside playing, and we're like, well, all this stuff,
my goodness.
It's just like, this is not right. But, I was like, you want to eat, right? We got to pay your rent.
We got news, traffic, and sports right here. Then we'll continue our conversation, our tribute to Dr. Pau Goss with Dr. Sharita Yazid on KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
I'm Bree Wood with 4 Things You Should Know with BIN News. USAID will retain around 300 staff members while placing thousands on leave due to the Trump administration's downsizing efforts. Before President Trump took office, the agency had over 10,000 employees globally. The Justice Department is appealing a ruling that paused President Trump's efforts to end birthright citizenship. Judges in Washington State and Maryland have blocked the executive order from taking effect. Now, the Justice Department is appealing those judges' decisions. Google has announced it will no longer pursue diversity hiring goals. As a federal contractor, the company is evaluating changes following recent court decisions and executive orders. Google joins Meta and Amazon in rolling back DEI hiring efforts. And today is National Wear Red Day, observed on the first Friday of February, which is American Heart Month. It's meant to raise awareness about heart disease, the leading cause of death for women in the U.S. I'm Bree Wood on the Black Information Network, your home for Black News First.
New year, fresh start. Why not with better water? LifeSource Water gives you clean, filtered water from every tap with no salt and no frequent maintenance. Call 800-WATER-99 or visit lifesourcewater.com today. Warranty limitations apply.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The NBA needs to make an exception for LeBron James and put him in the Hall of Fame today. Players have to wait 5 years after retiring before Hall of Fame consideration, but LeBron is showing no signs of retirement knocking on his door. He had 42 points, 17 rebounds, and 8 assists in the Lakers' 120-112 win over Golden State. At age 40, LeBron became the oldest player in NBA history to score 40 points. The Lakers have won 4 straight. The Clippers have lost 3 straight after losing at home to Indiana 119-112. Some personnel issues are beginning to surface. Indiana's bench outscored the Clippers bench 43-19. Speaking of the Hall of Fame, congratulations to former Chargers tight end Antonio Gates. He was elected to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Gates did not play football in college. He was a basketball player at Kent State University. More on Gates' outstanding story this afternoon. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580.
time is up. The IRS is in full collection mode for 2024, issuing liens, levies, and garnishments to anyone who has a past tax debt or unfiled tax returns. Don't wait till it's too late. Your paycheck and bank accounts are at risk of being seized. Call now and stop the collection process today. If you're living check to check, no matter how much you're making, you still may qualify for the Fresh Start programs offered by the IRS to reduce or even eliminate your tax debt. It's just a 5-minute call to get your options, and it's free. If you owe back taxes, have years of unfiled tax returns, under audit, have a wage or bank levy, or finally just want to sleep better, business or personal, call the experts at Republic Tax Relief while there's still time. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, and tough. This veteran-owned company has the fight you need to take on the IRS. Don't go at it alone. The call is free. Call their hotline number now, 800-652-1714. That's 800-652-1714. Find out if you qualify today. Call 800-652-1714 or go to republictaxrelief.com.
Downy Rinse and Refresh. Break up with stinky clothes.
Rinse it out. Every now and then I get a little bit tired of the stinks that just will never come out. Oh, Downy in the rinse change. Every now and then I rinse it out. One wash and it delivers. One wash, it smells so clean. Downy Rinse and Refresh, it's a dream.
Downy Rinse and Refresh. Fights odor in just one wash. Guaranteed.
The following is not a contest and is a paid advertisement by Family Vacation Getaways with the purpose of soliciting sales or vacation ownership. For complete details, please visit fvgradio.com. If you want a complimentary stay in Cancun at a luxury resort, then Family Vacation Getaways may have your ticket to paradise. We're giving away a 5-day and 4-night stay to the first qualified 50 callers who can name an animal that lays eggs and is not a bird. An animal that lays eggs and is not a bird. Do you know it? Call now, 800-868-6431, 800-868-6431. You may also be eligible for an exciting bonus vacation to Orlando, Florida for just $398. And don't worry about anything ruining your plans. We can extend your travel up to 18 months. Name an animal that lays eggs and is not a bird, and you may be eligible to get a complimentary Cancun resort stay and an optional bonus vacation to Orlando for just $398. What are you waiting for? Call 800-868-6431. Again, call 800-868-6431 and give us your answer.
Lena Bloom for the Bail Project. Imagine you're stuck in a jail cell and you can't afford bail and someone offers you a way out. Just plead guilty and you can go home and kiss your kids goodnight. What do you do? What thousands have. You plead guilty whether you are or not. Cash bail makes poverty a crime. That's why the Bail Project helps those who can't afford it while fighting to end cash bail, because freedom should be free. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Find a righteous rage and don't be afraid to say what you see. We're KBLA Talk 1580.
And we are doing all the things that we need to do to be strong and clear and discerning in troubled times. Some would say terrible times. I'm talking with Dr. Sharita Yazid, Sharita Yazid, daughter of Dr. Pau Goss, but certainly a healer in her own right. And we are talking about the life and legacy of Dr. Goss and his imprint on our community, which is really about self-care in the most ancestral and fundamental sense, right?
Yes, definitely self-care is the best care. Self-preservation, focus on yourself so you'll be able to take care of your family and your community. Yes.
And I mean, of course, it's like what people say. What would Dr. Martin Luther King say? What would Malcolm X say? Who knows? Like, only they know, right? But certainly as the holder of that legacy and even among your own brothers and sisters, I know keeping the family business going and keeping it legendary. Molly Bell was talking in the chat about how proud she is of you and of the business. You are the keeper of the flame in the sense of carrying on the actual healing work yourself. How would you describe like the philosophy of Dr. Goss, of yourself, of the whole New Body tradition?
I would say something he would always say that was kind of cliche. A lot of people took it on, but your health is your wealth. Your health is
literally
something that you have to have.
Right. Yeah.
You have to have no matter what. There's people who are so rich, got billions of dollars, but they don't have their health, and they will pay any amount of money, to bring themselves back whole again. So that's the first order of business, is just to make sure that every day when you wake up, make a conscious effort to make sure you're taking care of your mind, your body, and your spirit, your whatever it is, your connection with the universe, with the Most High. Make sure that all that is in alignment. And if it's not, then you start working on those things. None of us are perfect. We didn't come here perfect, but striving for perfection is definitely one thing I would say that my father did do.
You and I have been talking about spending some time with the legacy of Dr. Goss, and you're going to have to come back because you're right. We only had an hour. We'll have. I want to spend time just talking about you and your work and focusing on how you're helping people. But what made you feel this drive that we need to spend this hour celebrating Dr. Goss and his work?
It's been almost 4 years, comes August, that he has made his transition to the ancestral world. His birthday is coming up on February 11th, next Tuesday. And me and a few of my siblings are going to go to Arizona, where his final resting place is. We have a pyramid on top, and which is, you can see in his logo. And we're going to put a official plaque on there and make it to where we're kind of building like a mausoleum around it, so when people do come there to visit the land, they'll be able to come and pay their homage and just be in the frequency, because all things have frequency, even if it's not or unalive, it still has a frequency.
Right.
So yes. So we want people. So we just want to honor him. We want to be able to show to the community that we have, just to kind of give recognition to the healers of our time that has made it to where we have the different healers that we have today, that has followed, the legacy, and understanding, where it kind of all started for us in the United States as African people.
Yeah. Jamal Hakim says, I would like to thank Dr. Goss, who healed me from getting full-blown COPD. I researched the herbs and found out that comfrey and fenugreek. Mm-hmm. I frequent Arizona, so where is his resting place? And what else do you guys have going there? Are you doing the retreats and such? I know you spend a lot of time in Ghana as well.
Yeah, I'm glad he brought that up, because we are looking to regenerate, renovate the place there. We have a big gym that has a multi-purpose room, that has lodging, and we used to do retreats there about 5 times a year, as well as we have land in North Carolina where we do retreats 3 times a year. So North Carolina is ready, but Arizona, we do need a lot of help in the renovation. And I will give a thanks to Tinya and Toya out of Phoenix that has really been helping us, checking on the land, making sure things are in order, helping to clear out certain things. So we have started the work, thanks to these 2 sisters. And when we're looking for more people, to come and making it to what it was, as well as we're making it into the vision that Dr. Goss had for this place. Is 800 acres. He was trying to build.
Wow.
He was manifesting a city, for us, that deals with every aspect of our life, as far as not just our health, but also, financial literacy, learning how to take care of the land, just understand who we are, our rights, as we are here in America. There was so many different aspects, to him. He definitely, I would say he was a pan-Africanist, and he took the wellness side, to do with our people. Yeah.
If people want to help, you mentioned you need help in Arizona, then where would they reach out to?
I think probably the best place to get me will be on, you know what, they can send an email to, just go to our website and then just go to our contact form. The website is newbodyproducts.net, NEWBODYPRODUCTS.net.
Yeah, newbodyproducts.net. Yes.
Yeah, and just send us the email, and then we'll take it from there.
That sounds
There is a
good.
vetting process. There's not anybody that can come.
Yeah, right. Well, yeah, of course.
For the record.
But the work
Dr.
continues.
Goss.
Yeah, the work continues, though, and that's the main thing. I love to see it. I see that with Dr. Sebi's family carrying on his work and his legacy as well. And the new body products continue. There was actually, as far as I was aware, no break in the continuity of your production and your work. Is that a whole family effort? Is that you? Is that something Dr. Goss put in place before he transitioned? How did you guys manage that?
Yeah, so between me, my sister Paulnetta, and my mother Alzonia, Mrs. Goss, and my father, we were, I guess, the nucleus, of the business. Of course, he was the head, he was the face, but we were always been in the background, working, even from small children. But I would say maybe for me and my sister, age 16, 17 is when we, for me anyway, from the age of 16, I've been with the business, the whole time. So, and we did, we, like I was telling you earlier, we went from putting things in a capsule by hand.
Right.
To now
So which he owes you back pay for that, apparently.
Well, yeah. Trust me. You can't put a price on this work. I'm telling you, it's really revolutionary work taking care of our people. Yeah, but and now we have, our own manufacturing plant. We have several machines. We have all the machines that do all the packaging from the powder, or really from the lands all the way to the final package.
Are you guys still growing herbs?
We have some that we do grow. We don't grow everything. We have over 100. I don't know. I think we have maybe 200 herbs that we're dealing with on a regular basis.
Yeah.
But yeah, we do grow some, and then that's also part of Arizona too, finding people, to come and harvest as well. Yeah. So it's a serious work, and we are carrying on. Some days it has not been any break, from 1976 to now. Matter of fact, our biggest time when a lot of people were going out of business, we had more business, which is during COVID. It was the best year of our 45 years at that time, and now we're going on. This year is going to be 48.
That's powerful, though, because it says that even though we might be greasy and cheesy, we know where to turn when we're in trouble.
Well, exactly, and that's how people, I'm just glad that people look at trying to take care of their health and any kind of taking their health into their own hands in the first place. But yeah, we do have people that come in like, oh, I just had all this stuff this weekend, the holidays, or, I did all, and I need my CKLS, I need my colon cleanser, And after a while, we tell people, look, the body does have an intelligence. You can't just keep thinking that you're going to fool it by eating whatever you want to eat and then come and take, something, cleanse it out. We do really want people to pay attention to the way they're supposed to eat, the way the Most High has put it here for us to eat.
Yeah.
Which is really walking to the tree, grabbing the apple, washing it off and eating it, and then leaving some for people behind to eat as well.
Dr.
We have a long way to get back to that.
Yeah,
but that's the aim.
Dr. Sharita Yazid is my guest, and we're talking about Dr. Goss, but we're really talking about you and our community. We'll continue when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
We ask seniors how to prevent Medicare scams.
My best advice, if you get a phone call, do not talk to the person. These people are well-trained. Don't talk to them.
They don't know me. They're just trying to scam me.
Don't be fooled. Hang up. Just hang up.
Never give out your Medicare number.
They're going to get your number to put in a false claim.
If I get a call from someone, I don't pick up the phone. And should I pick up the phone and they ask for information, then I hang up.
How do you detect Medicare fraud?
Just like I check my credit card statements, I check my Medicare statements monthly.
Scammers can get a hold of your number, order medical devices through your account, and you're not even going to know about it if you don't look at your statement.
Check your statement every month.
If you get your statement and you see something that you know you did not have done, you report it.
call your senior Medicare Patrol.
To report Medicare fraud, call the Senior Medicare Patrol at 855-613-7080.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. LA County's new Justice Care and Opportunities Department, or JCOD, is here to support justice-involved individuals and their families. The JCOD Support Center is now taking calls at 1-833-LACJCOD. That's 1-833-522-5263. Available 7 days a week from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. The Support Center is your one-stop shop for re-entry issues and court support. They offer court reminders, connections to local services, transportation assistance for housing, court appearances, and childcare. The JCOD hotline provides personalized help to connect you with services that you need. And don't forget to check out justiceconnect.org for more information. Remember, it's free and available every day at 1-833-522-5263. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Lena Bloom for the Bail Project. Imagine you're stuck in a jail cell and you can't afford bail and someone offers you a way out. Just plead guilty and you can go home and kiss your kids goodnight. What do? What thousands have. You plead guilty whether you are or not. Cash bail makes poverty a crime. That's why the Bail Project helps those who can't afford it while fighting to end cash bail, because freedom should be free.
Brought to you by the Ad Council.
The conversation continues right now with Dominique DiPrima on First Things First.
And Dr. Sharita Yazid, you are carrying on this tradition. A lot of folks are stressed and troubled because of what's happening in Washington, because of these wildfires and whatever else we're carrying in our personal lives, high prices. What are you telling your patients now in a general sense about how to care for ourselves? And more specifically, what can you share? What can you offer for dealing with the aftermath of these fires? Because I know they have more impacts on our health than we even know.
Yes, we give thanks and praises to the Most High for sparing those lives. And for the ones who didn't make it, they rise in power and really stand in place to help the ones who did survive. It's really, I was in Ghana during the time when it happened. I was actually the inauguration for the new president, Mahama, was happening, and Mayor Karen Bass, was there during the inauguration. And, she caught a lot of heat. We already know what was up with that. It's not like she's supposed to know that was supposed to happen, But when she was there, at the same time, there was a fire happening in Ghana in an area called Continental. Mm-hmm. And this is the biggest secondhand market in the whole world. I thought it was Africa, but the whole world. You can find anything there secondhand. Took down the whole place, and it was just like, what is really happening? Like, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? The connection and all that. So anyway, just moving past that, I'm looking at the fires. I'm talking to family members. One of our close family members, Bart Ross, grew up in Altadena, and his father's house burnt down. This is my father's niece's husband, who I see at least 3 times a week when I'm here in LA. And that's when it hit home. And then I heard another story with a sister a few days ago on a radio show talking about her own experience and how when she was trying to get away out, even a grave caught on fire, how she had to pull it from her. Just how when she went back and saw the bed that she was laying in and had burnt just in the hour just from the time she left. She's going down one street, next street, everywhere there's fires. She's checking on the elders. It was that's when it really hit home to hear the story of a person who survived, who was in the midst of hearing the sound of the fire, and she was saying she didn't even know it had a sound.
Right. So in the aftermath of dealing with the stress and dealing with the smoke and dealing with other things that I'm probably not even thinking of, as a holistic healer, what can you offer?
Yeah, even with me, I did offer a wellness package. Basically, definitely we have to deal with the mental side. Anywhere where you can get any type of counseling, whether it's through a professional, through your church, a pastor, through a good friend, an elder, somebody that you can talk to maybe outside of the whole situation that can really kind of help hold your hand through this process. You need that mental side. Physically, we want to focus on the lungs and also in keeping the blood clean. So you have certain herbs like fenugreek and black seed, golden seal, which will help with, viruses and bacteria. You have astragalus, which helps build up the immune system. Definitely taking vitamin C or ascorbic acid is a fast way to build up the immune system. And just, things like sea moss, Irish moss. We have a formula called CFU, which is like a cold and flu. And it has about, 7 to 8 different herbs in there. Marshmallow is part of it. And it really helps with cleansing the lungs and also helps with cleansing the blood as well, just to get more oxygen, to the lungs. That's something we need to do anyway, just living in toxic LA. But because we know the air is more toxic because of the fires, we need to do more to protect ourselves. On top of dealing with the other viruses during the flu season, there's a lot. So I feel that we need to focus on our lungs and focus on the purification of our blood during this time.
And so you can, people can still find all these products, obviously, online because we have people listening all over the world at newbodyproducts.net. If you're in LA, you can go to Compton to the store, still there, right?
New Earth, yeah.
Go to New Earth in Compton, or you can find them at some of your various health food stores. The CKLS is so popular at Simply Wholesome that they keep it behind the counter.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah, because I guess people are trying to cleanse, like you said, all the time, or lose weight, or whatever they're doing. It's a powerful formula in itself.
Yes. 1976, a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, helping many people, yeah.
And I know
I'm doing a cleanse myself, the deeper cleanse that we do with the CKLS.
Oh, yeah. I've only done it once because I'm not that brave. But it definitely is impactful. And, many of my friends do that cleanse. You know that in 2020, I was on lockdown like all of us were. And Spirit told me to get off my butt and go see Dr. Goss. And that was the only interview I did during that period where I actually left my house. And I'm so glad that I got to talk to your dad that time.
Oh, yeah. We give thanks for that. I always give thanks for that to you. And that was actually his last interview.
Wow.
And I'm glad it was to you because you were one of his favorites. He was interviewed by a lot of people, but he always, talked about your conversations and, he was always happy to be on your show. So we give thanks to you for that.
Thank you. I tried to keep up with him because to me, Dr. Goss, talking to him, he's more like the Ornette Coleman or John Coltrane of Herbalist. You know what I mean? Like half the stuff he said, I knew I didn't understand, but I just try to keep up and see if I could get to where he was going with it, because I think a lot of what he was seeing and saying went over many of our heads.
He was ahead of his time.
Yeah.
He was ahead of his time. He saw things. I remember when he talked about genetically modified organisms, and how that these companies were going to have the patent on the seeds. And I'm like, how is that possible? How do you have, remember this conversation we had years ago. How is that possible that they can have the patent on God? They're seeds. And so once, he didn't really explain it well then. It was just kind of like, well, this is what they're doing, and he's showing me different seeds. He plants something and it was a potato at the root, and on top it was a tomato. He said he just wanted to see, how this thing works. So at the time when he was talking about it, I was just like, you're crazy. Like this, that's not possible. But then it's like, look at this food that doesn't have seeds in it. Look at the grapes. Look at some of the oranges. How we got watermelon without seeds. Yeah. And because we live in a country where everything is so about convenience, we didn't even notice it. We were just like, oh, no seeds in the watermelon? Good. That's such a nuisance anyway, not understanding, like I'm in Ghana and you tell them no seeds. They're like, well, how do you grow another one? Yeah. I'm like, we never asked that question.
Yeah.
But for them, that's unnatural. So he was ahead of his time when he was talking about these things, but he was current as far as he was concerned because he understood what was happening.
I mean, to me, that's what genius
Yeah.
it really is. That's what genius is. They sound crazy to
Yeah.
us because we can't keep up. That's what genius looks like to me.
I knew from another planet. I always said he was from another planet. I used to always, like, at nighttime when he was asleep, just going to see if he had some kind of tail or something growing out of his neck. Or
Definitely a black
coming out of
planet,
his
though.
head.
It's a blackety black planet. Dr. Sharita.
Blackety black.
I hope we're going to have to get you on the phone from Ghana or wherever you are because I want to spend some time, with your brain and your healing knowledge. But I thank you so much for sharing your dad with us this morning.
Thank you so much for having us. Yes. Thank you. I'm really grateful.
Yeah, stop by New Earth in Compton or stop by the website, newbodyproducts.net. You want the ultimate cleanse. You want to be ready for 2025. Try that olive oil cleanse, but get some guidance. All right, the Best of Tavis Smiley is on right now. The highlights from the week that was. I'll see you all at the City of LA reparations hearing tomorrow, the presentation of their final report at the California African American Museum. That's from 2:30 to 4:30. You can register at cammuseum.org or just show up. We will see you there. I'll see you on social media, KBLA 1580, or my personal one, DiPrima Radio, DiPrima, and then radio. Like my mama used to say, history is now, and we are making it together. Until next time, one love.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with 4 Things You Should Know with BIN News. USAID will retain around 300 staff members while placing thousands on leave due to the Trump administration's downsizing efforts. Before President Trump took office, the agency had over 10,000 employees globally. The Justice Department is appealing a ruling that paused President Trump's efforts to end birthright citizenship. Judges in Washington State and Maryland have blocked the executive order from taking effect. Now, the Justice Department is appealing those judges' decisions. Google has announced it will no longer pursue diversity hiring goals. As a federal contractor, the company is evaluating changes following recent court decisions and executive orders. Google joins Meta and Amazon in rolling back DEI hiring efforts. And today is National Wear Red Day, observed on the first Friday of February, which is American Heart Month. It's meant to raise awareness about heart disease, the leading cause of death for women in the U.S. I'm Bree Wood on the Black Information Network, your home for Black News First.
New year, fresh start. Why not with better water? LifeSource Water gives you clean, filtered water from every tap with no salt and no frequent maintenance. Call 800-WATER-99 or visit lifesourcewater.com today.